We started?
Yeah.
All right. This is CJ.
This is Nathan.
These are Week 11 college football predictions. We're coming back on them. So our first game was North Carolina versus Wake Forest. I had North Carolina. They ended up winning 36-34, close game.
Yeah, so all the games this week were actually pretty good. Pretty close games, except for Ohio State, Indiana. That was a blowout. But I went with North Carolina first, and obviously, so they won.
All right, next game, Ohio State, Indiana. Obviously, I had Ohio State, and they won 56-14.
Yeah, Ohio State won. C.J. Stroud was actually starting to run this game after last week with versus Northwestern. He started to run last week, and now he's kind of moving into this week. He had, I think, one rushing touchdown, I think it was. And, they just won 56-14.
Big game. All right, third game, TCU versus Texas. I actually think I took the upset on this one. I chose Texas to win. Very close game. It ended up being 17-10. 17-10. TCU took the dub there, but yeah.
Yeah, I was really hoping for a big Texas win, but TCU came out and they beat Texas.
All right, next game we have Bama versus Ole Miss. I think everyone knew it was going to be a decent game, or the opposite, either a blowout. But I went with Bama on this one. After losing those two games, I think they were going to come out hot. Yeah, ended up being a really good game, but Bama took the dub 30-24.
I did go with Ole Miss on this game, but I feel like they could have won if the stupid quarterback would have thrown the ball on 3rd and 10 instead of trying to run it up the middle and getting absolutely stuffed and then throwing a terrible ball to some dude in the end zone. Even if there was no one on him, he could not have made the catch. So, yeah, it was dumb by Ole Miss, but, yeah.
All right, Washington versus Oregon. I chose Washington. But they ended up winning. Washington won 37-34. Yeah.
I took I took Oregon on this one. I thought Bo Nix would come out and play like a dog. I mean, he was, but it just wasn't enough to beat Washington. I mean, their jerseys were cool, but they lost.
It wasn't enough. Our last game, UCF versus Tulane. I didn't really know how good of a game it was going to be. UCF ended up winning 38-31.
I actually didn't watch this game. I just heard about it the next day. And I heard it was actually a pretty good game. Tulane was up a couple times, and then they ended up losing in the fourth quarter. So, yep, that's it.
These are our Week 12 college football matchup predictions. Up first, we got Utah versus Oregon, both ranked teams. I think after Oregon's, I guess you could say, big loss last week, I'm gonna take them on this one. I think they're gonna pull away.
I think I'm gonna go
Is
with.
that Oregon too?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Oregon. I mean, their jerseys are always so cool.
You look good, you play good.
Yeah, you look good, you play good. Also, I think Bo Nix he's improved a lot since he's been at Auburn. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Oregon.
All right. Next, we got USC versus UCLA. All right, both ranked teams here. It's at UCLA. But I'm going to go with USC on this one. UCLA always brings a great crowd, but USC, I think they're pretty good on the road.
I don't know. This is a tough one. USC is 7th, and UCLA is 16th, but it's at UCLA. This is definitely going to be a tough game. I think I am going to go with the upset right here with UCLA.
All right. Next, we got Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. This is always a great rivalry matchup. But Oklahoma's not doing too great this season. Oklahoma's ranked 24th. Oklahoma State is ranked 24th, and Oklahoma is not ranked at all. It's at Oklahoma here. I think I'm gonna go with the upset on this one, and I'm gonna go with Oklahoma.
I think I'm going to go with Oklahoma State because Oklahoma's not doing too bright this year. They're not even ranked. But, I mean, Oklahoma State is 24th, so that's, like, pretty close to not being ranked. But, I mean, yeah, this is a great rivalry matchup, both in the same state. But I am going to have to go with Oklahoma State.
All right. Next, we got Tennessee versus South Carolina. I mean, I think we all know, like, who we're going to go with here. But I feel like South Carolina is, I think they're going to put up a good fight. It's at South Carolina, too. But I think Tennessee is going to come away with the victory.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tennessee. I mean, especially with that last week's performance, they're going to come out a little mad and, just whoop up on South Carolina. So I'm going to go with Tennessee.
All right. Next, we got Navy versus UCF. Probably not going to be a great game. I think UCF is going to beat them. Navy's not having a great year, but yeah, I'm gonna go with UCF here.
Man, this is a tough one. I mean, it's at UCF, and they're actually ranked, and Navy's not. So the obvious answer here is UCF. But the Navy are fighters. So I'm going to go with the Navy.
Oh, buddy.
And, I mean, I'm just really hoping that they get their record up so that when they play Army in the Army versus Navy game, they whoop up on Army.
Good point. All right. Last but not least, we got Georgia Tech versus UNC. I feel like every time I've watched Georgia Tech, they've always put on a good show, a good game versus a good team. But with them not being ranked, it's hard to say like who I want to choose here. UNC's having a great season so far. I think their wide receiver core is really good. I think they're really fast, strong, big, but I don't think it's going to be enough to beat the Georgia Tech. Going with the upset.
Yeah, just like CJ said, this is a great game, and they always come out to play. But I mean, the upset it's a long shot.
Yeah.
With UNC being 13 and Georgia Tech being nothing. But yeah, I'm going with UNC.
All right, you heard it. Those are our Week 12 college football matchup predictions.